everyone. Today we are going to discuss about chlorination. See, chlorination it is one of the method of the disinfection of the water. So today we are discuss about this chlorination method. See, in this lecture we are discuss about the introduction of the chlorination method. What is meant by chlorination? Then we are discuss about the residual chlorine and chlorine demand. Then chemical disinfection. Then the application of chlorine. Okay, in which form we are apply the chlorine as a disinfectant. Then we are discuss about the breakpoint chlorination, and then lastly doses of chlorination. See, first of all, the chlorination. See, I already told you that chlorine, mostly in the water treatment plant, chlorine is used as disinfectant for the disinfection purpose. And what is meant by chlorination? See, chlorination is the application of chlorine to water for the purpose of disinfection is known as the chlorination. Okay. Chlorine is added into the water to kill the bacteria. Okay, and chlorination is very widely adopted in all developing countries for the treatment of the water for the public water supply. See, chlorine is available in gaseous form, liquid form, and in solid form also. There are various advantages of this chlorine. See, chlorine is manufactured easily by electrolytes of common salt, that is sodium chloride. Okay. Second one is this chlorine is powerful oxidant and can penetrate the cell wall of the organism and its content, and therefore it makes the water harmless or free from the bacteria. Next advantages are the chlorine doses can be controlled precisely. Okay, they can be easily detected by simple orthotoledane test. Then the chlorine dose does not harmful constituent on reaction with organics or inorganics in water, and it leaves the required residue in water to neutralize the recontamination later. This is very important. It kept the residue in water. Okay, because whenever we are supplying the water to the people, if through the pipeline, and if suppose that pipelines are faulty, if that pipes are leakage, okay, so future contamination are occur. Okay, so that's why this chlorine, whenever we are adding the chlorine as a disinfectant, it leaves residue to avoid the future contamination of the water. That is very important advantage of this chlorine. Now see, what is meant by residual chlorine and chlorine demand. See, these topics are very important because in this topic there are some numericals are also asked in your exam and in GATE and MPSC point of view. Okay, in that exam the some small 2 marks numericals are also there on the residual chlorine and chlorine demand. Okay, in my next lecture we are solving the numericals on residual chlorine and chlorine demand also. Okay, see, what is meant by residual chlorine and chlorine demand? When chlorine is applied in water, some of it get consumed in killing the pathogen and some reacts with organs and inorganic substances, and the balance is detected. What are the remaining after the chlorination process? Whatever the chlorine is remaining, that chlorine is called as the residual chlorine. Okay, so do you understand what is meant by residual chlorine? After the chlorination process, whatever the chlorine is available in the water, that chlorine is called as the residual chlorine. As name is, residue is remain, that's why that chlorine is called as residual chlorine. Okay, now what is meant by chlorine demand? See, the difference between the quantity of chlorine applied per liter and residual chlorine, the difference between the chlorine applied and residual chlorine is called as the chlorine demand. Because actually for the chlorination purpose, what are the chlorine that the amount of chlorine is required, that is called as chlorine demand. But we are keeping some residual chlorine or residue of chlorine in that water, because to avoid the future contamination of that water, so we have to subtract it from the chlorine dose. So the quantity of chlorine applied per liter and the difference between the quantity of chlorine applied per liter and residual chlorine, that is called as the chlorine demand. Chlorine demand means actually how much amount of chlorine is required for the disinfection of water, that is called as the chlorine demand. See, polluted water exerts more chlorine demand. If water is pre-treated by sedimentation and aeration, chlorine demand may be reduced, because in that previous water treatment processes, okay, some bacteria are already removed. That's why their chlorine demand is reduced. See, normally we are providing residual chlorine of 0.2 mg per liter is required as per the IS 10500:2012. Okay, we are keeping the residual chlorine 0.2 mg per liter. If the residual we are keeping residual chlorine much more, it is also harmful to human body also. So normally we are keeping 0.2 mg per liter residual chlorine. That you have to be remember. Now see, we are discuss about the chemical disinfection. See, various chemical agents have been used for the disinfection of drinking water, and each agent has its own advantages and their limitations also. See, the commonly used agents like chlorine compounds like chlorinated lime, oxidant like ozone and potassium permanganate, and halogen. These are the various chemical disinfectants are there. Now next one is the very important topic, that is the application of chlorine. How we have to apply the chlorine into the water. See, chlorine can be applied by using one of the three forms of that chlorine. See, first one is the as a bleaching powder. Okay, we can add the chlorine into the water as a bleaching powder form, or in the as a chloramine, and lastly as a free chlorine gas. Okay, now we are discuss one by one in detail. See, as a bleaching powder, first one is as a bleaching powder. Bleaching powder, see, bleaching powder is a white powder, and that is having about 30 to 35% of active chlorine, but it needs to be used with utmost care, as it loses the proportion of active chlorine when exposed to atmosphere, and it also necessary to have the laboratory testing to strength of the powder and to fix up the doses. Okay, see, for that purpose this method is proved to be tedious, okay, laborious and expensive also. Now next method is the next application of chlorine by as a chloramine. See, when chlorine is mixed with the ammonia, it forms a compound which is called as or known as a chloramine. See, chloramine is stable compound in water and possess disinfecting property, and they also remove odor from the water to some extent also. See, the advantages of the chloramines are this is more effective, the effect of the remains for longer time, okay, and as it has less irritation to nose and eyes. It is mainly used for the disinfecting of the swimming pool, and there is no danger of giving lesser or overdose of the chloramine. So these are the some advantages of the chloramine. And lastly, as a we can apply the chlorine as a free chlorine gas. See, the chlorine can be applied in a gaseous form or in a liquid form. The liquid chlorine is stored in pressure cylinder or drums and is supplied for use. See, the device which regulates the quantity of chlorine to be added to the water, that is known as the chlorinator. See, This as a free chlorine gas method has various advantages. This method needs less space to store. It is very powerful to kill the bacteria. Then this is easy to transport. Okay. The result of disinfection of water are uniform and reliable, and this mechanism is easy and no skilled manpower, okay, or skill supervision is required. So these are the various forms in which we can apply the chlorine in the water. Now next term, very important term, that is the breakpoint chlorination. Okay, see what is the breakpoint chlorination? The breakpoint is a point in the chlorine dose residual curve at which all the chloramines and chloroorganic compounds are decomposed and the free residual chlorine begins to appear. That point is called as the breakpoint chlorination. Okay. See, we are discussed in detail. See, this is the graph of the breakpoint chlorination. These are the 4 zones of breakpoint chlorinations are there. Okay. See, first zone is the destruction of chlorine by reducing compound. This is the first zone. Second one is the formation of chloroorganic and chloramines. Third zone is the destruction of chloramines and chloroorganic compound. And last zone is the formation of free chlorine. Okay, that is free available chlorine. So these are the 4 zones of the chlorine. Okay. Now see, this breakpoint chlorination is very important and which is always asked in your exam. Explain the breakpoint chlorination with neat graph. So you have to draw this graph. Okay, chlorine residual and the chlorine dose applied, okay, or added. You have to plot this graph in this way. Okay, here is the chlorine residual or residual chlorine, and here is the chlorine dose applied. Okay, see, this graph shows the status of the residual as a function of the dose of chlorine. Okay, see, from this 0 chlorine is applied. Okay, whenever we are applying the chlorine at the beginning of the abacia, the point, okay, from this point the applied chlorine is immediately consumed, okay, by reducing such species such as ferrous, manganese, hydrogen sulfide and nitrate. Okay, and as shown is here, there is no residual chlorine is produced. Okay, because that will consume by this bacteria or organic matter. Okay, from this point here, from this point, chlorine reacts with the organic compound ammonia and amine, and which will produce chloroorganic species. Okay, formation of chloroorganics and chloramine. Chloroorganic species and chloramines are produced. Okay, again here free chlorine is not formed. Okay, but at the range of applied dosages, okay, there are certain chemical reactions takes place, okay, and which production of the mono and dichloramines are produced. Okay, see, after that what happened, the point of chlorine dose residual curve, okay, after that the chloroorganism and chloramines are partially destroyed. Okay, and whenever we are adding the chlorine into the water, okay, so what happen, it will come up to this breakpoint. Breakpoint means what? Again see, after this addition of chlorine beyond this point, okay, that result in rapid oxidation of organisms, okay, and the residual chlorine content decreases drastically. Okay, see this curve. This stage is sometimes accompanied by bad smell, isn't it? And when chlorine is added beyond this point, okay, it will equally appear as a free chlorine. Thus, when this point is reached, bad smell and taste suddenly disappear. Okay, This point on the curve is known as this point is known as the breakpoint curve. Okay, breakpoint. As any chlorine that is added other water beyond this point breaks through water and appear as a residual chlorine or appear as a free chlorine. Okay, after this point. Okay, whenever we are adding after this point whatever the chlorine we are added here, that will appear as a free available residue. Therefore, the breakpoint in the chlorination of water, okay, is the point on the applied residual chlorine curve at which all or nearly all the residual chlorine is a free chlorine. See, there are various advantages of this breakpoint chlorination. See, this breakpoint chlorination remove the taste and odor of the water. Okay. Second one, the desired residual chlorine will remain in water. Third is it will remove organic matter and manganese also. It will complete the oxidation of ammonia and other compound also. So these are the advantages of the breakpoint chlorination. Now next one is the doses of chlorine. See, there are various doses of chlorines are there. Like first one is the plain chlorination. Okay, plain chlorination means what? The plain chlorination is the process of addition of chlorine only when the surface water with no other treatment is required. Only that chlorine is applied for the treatment of the water. Okay. See, the water of lakes and springs is pure and can be used after plain chlorination. And a rate of 0.8 mg per liter is the normal dosage so as to have maintained in decided in residual chlorine of 0.2 mg per liter. See, in plain or simple chlorination, okay, is applied to the raw water before releasing for the drinking. Okay, and this plain chlorination is applied when the turbidity and color of water is low, raw water is less polluted. Okay, iron and manganese concentration is also less than 0.3 mg per liter. So at that time plain chlorination is used. Now next one is the superchlorination. Okay, see, this superchlorination is adopted during the outbreaks of the epidemics and in heavily polluted water. Okay. See, superchlorination is defined as the administration of a dose of considerably in excess of that necessary for the adequate bacterial purification of water. See, about 10 to 15 mg per liter is applied with a contact time of 10 to 30 minutes under the circumstances such as during epidemic breakout water is to be dechlorinated before supplied to the distribution system. Okay. See, this superchlorination is done when the water is colored, when the plain chlorination produces taste and odor, when the manganese and ferrous have to be oxidized. So at that case, this superchlorination is to be done. Now next one is the dechlorination. Okay, dechlorination means what? See, whenever a higher dose of chlorine is applied during the superchlorination and the water contain excess free available chlorine which should be removed before it reach to the consumer. Okay, so the partial or complete reduction of this undesirable excess chlorine in water by chemical treatment, that is known as dechlorination, or the removal of excess chlorine resulting from the superchlorination in part or completely is called dechlorination. See, excess chlorine in water gives pungent smell and corrode the pipelines also, and hence excess chlorine is to be removed before supply to the people. See, physical method like aeration, heating and absorption on charcoal that are also used for the dechlorination purpose, but the chemical method like sulfur dioxide, sodium bisulfate and sodium trisulfate are used for the removal of the excess chlorine. So this is about the dechlorination. So for the dechlorination, for the removal of excess chlorine, you have to use the sulfur dioxide, sodium bisulfate and sodium trisulfate. That name you have to also remember. Okay. Now next one is the points of chlorination. Whenever we are in which point we are adding the chlorine to the water, so there are various points of chlorinations are there, like pre-chlorination, post-chlorination and rechlorination. See, pre-chlorination means what? As the name indicates, chlorine is applied prior to the sedimentation and filtration process, that is known as the pre-chlorination. Means application of chlorine prior to any unit treatment process, that is called as pre-chlorination. See, this process or practice is when the water is heavily polluted and to remove taste, odor, color and growth of the algae on the treatment unit. Okay. See, this pre-chlorination improves the coagulation and post-chlorination doses and they may reduce. Okay. This also helps in controlling the biological growth in raw water pipe and increase the efficiency of the further treatment process. That's why pre-chlorination is also important. Next one is the post-chlorination. Okay, what do you mean by post-chlorination? See, when the chlorine is added in the water after all the treatment is known as that post-chlorination. See, application of chlorine to the treated water before it enters into the distribution system. Okay, and this post-chlorination helps and maintain to residual chlorine in treated water. And the last point of the today's discussion is the rechlorination. See, when the chlorine is added by the raw water at the more than one point, then it is called as the rechlorination or the double chlorination. See, when the distribution system is so long and the complex, the residual chlorine of 0.2 mg per liter may not be available at consumer end. Okay, so to achieve this, stage-wise application of chlorine in distribution system is carried out. Okay, that is called as rechlorination. So thank you, student. I hope that all of you understand all this chlorination topic very well. Okay, if you have any difficulty, you can ask me. Okay, thank you so much.